All right, we'll get the podcast started and we'll give it a rack. And I'll start banging on about it. I don't know, who knows? I'll start banging on about it. Yes, I know what a rack is, don't worry.
Yes, obviously you've experienced some things then.
I've experienced plenty of life, don't you worry about that.
If you had to do a rack to get headphones, then obviously, yes. Things are... But anyway, we're going to start with that. So we're not going to cut that out. That's going to be part of the podcast. So
that sounds good.
So yeah, start with your story.
Right. How is everybody?
Well, obviously they can't talk to you.
Welcome back to the
Why are you asking people who cannot hear you how they are?
Well, I don't know, because it just seems the natural thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, not really. Usually this is people listening to us. Anyway. They can't interact. Anyway, continue. Just tell the fucking story of your headphones and your rack.
Oh, yeah, the rack. Yeah, that's right. I said the word rack because I didn't realise what the fuck I was actually saying. Now, yesterday to help do this podcast out on location here, out on the golf course. Can you see that clearly, everybody? I think you can. Beautiful.
I would assume they
I went down and changed my phone plan yesterday. I went and changed my mobile phone plan, so it would cost me less money for my mobile phone data usage. Jesus Christ, could these fuckers take any longer to park?
Cough. Start coughing. Cough loud. Can you please at least just pretend to cough? That'll speed them up. So how was the trip to Wuhan? Can you tell me what Wuhan was like? What was Wuhan airport like in detail? And mention the word
Wuhan. Wuhan virus.
Now, what was the airport like? Can you start talking about what the airport was like in Wuhan when you flew there last week?
When I went to Wuhan last week, can you see me? Wait, hold on.
We're looking at your balls right
clearly?
now. Yeah.
Or is the sun in?
I mean, it looks terrible, but we can make out your balls.
Is that better? I know.
Not really.
Can you see anything of me at all?
We can see you. Barely.
Okay, you can see me. Well, that's fine. I'll just stand there in the shade so that the sun's not in it. Now, I went down to change my phone plan yesterday. They gave me some new headphones, the earbuds that you connect Bluetooth wirelessly, and I thought that'd be handy for doing this. So, fuck me, how long do these guys take?
Seriously, you gotta talk louder about Wuhan and how your trip there was.
Wuhan, in China.
Yeah, your trip.
The coronavirus is doing very well at the moment. So,
can you fucking play along and say that you just got back from Wuhan?
I did just get back from Wuhan in China. It was a wonderful trip.
Now cough a little. Have they noticed or not?
No, because they're like 200 meters away.
Oh, fuck. That's no fun.
Yeah, I know.
You should just line it up and aim at them.
I'm very tempted to. I'm taking...
Yell out
there's
4.
3 in front. I will at some point, don't worry. Now I've got like 2 people coming up and playing behind me. I mean, this is just annoying as fuck. Right,
you used to having a couple of people ramming up behind you?
Yes, I am used to having a couple of people like Kim's son. Right, let's hit this shot and see what happens. In fact, I'm not going to be able to see fuck all shit because I'm hitting straight back into the sun here.
You know, when we were in the UK, we played this thing called ghetto golf, and people let us play through in ghetto golf, which is... Cough, 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 cough.
That may actually be on the next tee, that one.
I hope like hell you get kicked off at the golf course and banned for life for spreading corona. And we should pretend you're on the phone to your doctor and asking you about corona. You should just say, "Oh no, I've just been sweating a
So,
bit
Doc,
from the fever, and the coughs, but you know."
So Doc, what do I do about this cough and this fever that I've had lately? Is there anything in particular that I can do to feel better? I don't know what's been going on. I've been living under a rock for the last 2 months.
Well, you've been in Wuhan, so you've been on lockdown, so you haven't heard anything.
Exactly. I haven't heard anything. I don't know. I don't really get told much these days. So I just kind of do a few things, and that's about it. So, yeah, I got no idea what's really going on at the moment. So,
All right. Well,
so doctor, can you tell me what's going on, please?
Are these people close enough to hear or not?
No, there's no one fucking around.
Well, that's no fun.
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway, let's get into it.
Yes.
So we'll start off with something fantastic that the New York Health Department has put out, a guide to sex and coronavirus.
Oh, yeah, this will be good.
So all New Yorkers should stay home and minimize contact with others. And then it says, but can you have sex? And here are some tips for how to enjoy sex and avoid spreading COVID-19.
America's really good with coming up with this kind of stuff.
So you can get it from the person who has it, which, I mean, that's pretty fucking obvious and pretty redundant to have that as a bold statement they have on their thing. The virus can spread to people who are within about 6 feet of a person with it.
Yep.
And it can spread through direct contact with their saliva or mucus.
Yeah, well,
we still have a lot to learn about COVID-19 and sex. COVID-19 has been found in feces of people who are infected with the virus, so don't eat people's shit.
I would have thought that was just a common thing not to do in the first place.
But what if you're into it? I mean, what if you're into having someone take a nice shit into your mouth?
What is it with people and wanting to eat other people's shit? Like, what the hell? What is it with people loving to have shit so much?
I really wish these people would catch up with you and hear what you're saying.
No, there's people about 20 meters away listening to the conversation, so they can hear what I'm saying because I'm talking loud enough. So.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, shit's nice and tasty and delicious.
Oh, it is for some people.
Filled with protein.
It can be. Yeah, that is true. It can be filled with some protein. So.
Well, the good news is that COVID-19 has not been found in semen or vaginal fluid, which I've personally tested of 20 COVID-19 positive people.
That is a positive. That's the case.
So the thing is, you can't actually get it through having sex. Okay, it says to have sex with people close to you. You are your safest sex partner, which is highlighted. Masturbation will not spread COVID-19, especially if you wash your hands and any sex toys with soap and water, or at least 20 seconds before and after sex. So
you think that'd be a reasonable thing to do?
I don't know. I like to let coronavirus people cough on my hands and then masturbate. It adds extra lube if you...
It does, actually. There's nothing wrong with a bit of extra lubrication. So,
the next safest partner is someone you live with. So your parents.
Yeah.
Or
yeah, but what if they've got coronavirus?
Well, then you're fucked. Having close contact, including sex, with only a small circle of people helps prevent it. You should avoid close contact, including sex, with anyone outside your household. Well, normally you have sex inside, not necessarily out the front door. So,
yeah, sure. I've seen people having sex in the middle of the street before, to be honest.
Well, that's very dangerous. They could have got corona.
Well, they could have got a lot of things, to be honest.
Well, this is great. If you usually meet your sex partners online or make a living by having sex, consider taking a break from in-person dates. Video dates, sexting, or chat rooms may be options for you.
Okay. It's not a bad idea.
Rimming mouth on anus might spread it, but only might.
Only might.
Well, that's because virus in the feces might enter your mouth.
What, you think?
Well.
You sure? you sure that's not the case?
Washing up before and after sex is more important than ever. Well, that's helpful.
Yeah.
But I don't like to wash after I have scat sex. Disinfect keyboards and touchscreens that you might share with others for video chat, for watching pornography or anything else.
Well, there's probably a solid chance that someone's going to end up, say, like, I don't know, coming all over the keyboard or the screen or something. That's the case.
Yeah, that's an awkward situation.
That's an awkward one to have to deal
You
with.
should skip sex if your partner is not feeling well. Well, that's probably the most obvious.
Yeah, that would seem relatively logical.
Well, thank you, New York. You've saved our lives.
Yes. I mean,
I don't know what
honest,
I would have done.
New York are pretty fucked anyway at the moment, I would have thought, considering what's been going on.
Well, they're not fucked, and that's the point.
Well, I reckon they are, because they've got like 10 times the amount of cases compared to anyone else.
So stop having sex with randoms outside.
Yeah.
Have sex with your parents inside.
Just, pretty logical thing to do.
Yeah, very logical to have sex with your parents inside, okay. Our next, there we go, there's my coronavirus.
There's your coronavirus.
This one comes from Jezebel, and it is Cosmo's 44 most ridiculous sex tips.
Oh, yeah.
So
let's go through them all.
Let's go from number 1. So to achieve sex goddess status, you have to truly master his man bits.
Yeah. What do they reckon that is?
No, well, that's the most ridiculous sex tips.
Okay.
So they're saying that if you want to be good in bed, mastering and understanding a man's penis is not helpful.
Yeah, not necessarily. It'd probably be handy too.
Kind of. Number 2, hold his penis in one hand and lightly slap it with the other. You can tap it back and forth like you're volleying a tennis ball and lightly pinch the skin on his shafts and testicles. Many women make the mistake of being too gentle. I say hit it harder.
Yeah, just
dig in your nails,
smash.
Snap your nails into his penis, and that'll help.
Yeah. Sounds pretty good.
Think of his shaft, like the outer curve of your breast. Take his shaft between your open palms and tap it back and forth, almost like you're volleying a tennis ball. What is with them and tennis balls? The quick movements are a fun way to wake up his nerves.
People love tennis balls.
I mean, I don't know why that has to.
People love balls in general, basically. So.
Well, this is a great one. Tickle his feet with your nipples. Climb on top of him in reverse cowgirl position, then bend over until your nipples reach the top of his feet. Yowza.
Wow, that's an interesting way to go about it. So,
cook dinner topless. Apply a little tomato sauce to your nipple and ask your man to lick it off.
Yeah,
I mean, is that safe in coronavirus world?
Yes, definitely. Absolutely.
Corona. I think it's a bit offensive that you're wearing a Heineken shirt in. No,
it's Hawaii shirt.
Yeah, I know, but it's clearly Heineken.
Yeah, well.
I mean, it should be Corona or nothing at this point.
I agree with you on that. That was a good shot.
When he's least expecting it, tell your man you need some change. Then stick your hands in his pocket, touch his penis through the fabric, pretending that you're really digging around for that coinage you need. When he's good and hard, whisper something in his ear like, "Is that a roll of quarters in your pocket, or are you just glad to see me?"
It's an interesting way to do something. So it's a little bit interesting.
This is just, I'm giving up on this. It annoys me. So we're going to move on to the next.
They all seem really weird for some reason.
Yeah, well, we're going to get weirder. So this one is from a site called Some E-Cards. And it is titled Never Come in a Jacuzzi and 17 Other Sex Tips from People Who Learned the Hard Way.
Well, that's probably a good idea not to come in a jacuzzi, I would have thought.
Well, we'll get to that when we get to that one. So, firstly, number one. So these are all taken from random people posting on Reddit. Number one, Sex Badgersaurus says to vex your sex before you use sex after an ex's text. Always masturbate before responding to your ex's text and see if you can how you feel about it with a clear, non-horny mind.
Oh, well, because I think you're just going to want to go and fuck them, basically.
Well, obviously.
Yeah. Seems
I
logical.
don't know. I feel like if your life is that fucked up that you're just going to have
You're probably going to anyway. First place,
now, imagine if you knew that your ex was doing this and therefore you just constantly kept texting them, forcing them to constantly masturbate so that they can respond to you.
Well, that would actually be funny.
Or what if you work with your ex and then therefore you can't respond until you masturbate? So you have to go into the work toilets and masturbate every time your ex sends you an email or work related.
That would be really annoying, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, especially if you had to like have 10 emails from them a day.
Yes, that would be.
And they're asking for urgent responses.
Yes, I think that would be just unbelievable.
Okay, the second one, rule of thumb from Ships 411. My mom told me to always go for the thumb if you're about to kiss someone's fingers. It's the least likely one they'd use to scratch their asshole. I disagree. Yeah.
I disagree.
The thumb's a better one to scratch your asshole with. If you learn nothing from this, scratch your asshole with your thumb.
I very much enjoy scratching my thumb. So.
Well, that's going to be a good soundbite. Take it out of context.
Take everything out of context, so it doesn't matter what I say.
Do you know how good it would be if we did an interview and randomly we just had this program to have you saying midway through what you just said about how you like to scratch your asshole with your thumb?
Yeah, well, you're going to do that anyway, so.
Well, yes.
That's how good it's going to be.
The next one, True Derek 32999. If you have guests over, never come in a jacuzzi unless you want to be covered in a thin spider-like amalgamation of your own jizz.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think you come outside the jacuzzi, then tip it in, and then mix it up and stir it.
Oh, yeah, not bad.
In public jacuzzis on the regular basis.
Can you tell everyone why you would like that?
Because I enjoy drinking jacuzzi water and I enjoy drinking cum. So a jacuzzi water cum mix is dream come true.
Also, it's a perfect mix for you then, basically. So.
It's nothing like cum mixed with chlorine, mixed with random people's sweat and hairy balls and anal discharges.
Bit of everything, basically.
Yeah, it's like a lucky dip of tastes. The whiskey ain't working for Dairy Fox. Women's magazines constantly suggest you should put in your mouth to spice up oral. Hot water, cold water, mints, fizzy sweets. Do not one night think to yourself whiskey. Do not do oral with whiskey. I disagree. I think you tip whiskey into the man's pee hole and then you suck it.
Oh, wow. Oh,
What? You don't think that's a good shot glass?
That's going to be interesting. That's all I can say.
Penal shots of whiskey. It's taken over the world. I mean, the next one is trim your pubes, which I disagree. Grow them like a bush.
Sorry, the whiskey.
There is too much wind where you are. Huh?
Yes, I can't help that, unfortunately.
I think you should. You should figure out how to stop the wind.
Well, it's actually pretty calm at the moment, surprisingly. Is that any better?
It's a bit better.
Okay. Well, I'll get down to a low part of the course at some point and we can keep going. I've got two people just randomly staring at me at the moment when I said,
Well, yeah. So what is it about drinking whiskey out of a penis that you don't like? Tell us what's wrong with drinking whiskey out of a penis.
I didn't say there was anything wrong with it. I said
With what?
some people have a different opinion. So
about what?
Well, they like to drink their whiskey in other ways. So
yeah, but what ways don't they like drinking it? Can you cough? cough, 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 cough. It's amazing that coughing is the equivalent to if you yelled out "fuck you" at a regular time.
Yeah, pretty much is at the moment. So.
What about you trim your pubes and then shove them up your pee hole and then mix it in with the whiskey?
I reckon that'd go down very well.
All right. The next one. Think about my grandma so you don't come too early. Probably doesn't have to. It probably doesn't have to be my grandma. Could be yours, unless you've got a really hot grandma or something.
The second you said grandma, that just kind of.
Well, imagine
put a stop on everything.
Imagine having to not think about your own grandma because she's too hot to.
Oh God! There are some hot grandmas out there. Let's be honest. So.
Yeah, I know, but usually people aren't attracted to their own grandma.
Yeah, generally not, but I'm sure someone.
That's a weird fetish that you don't get. Like, you never get people attracted to their own grandma. You get people attracted to their brother, their sister, their cousin, their aunt, whatever.
Type it into Google, see if there's like grandma fetish.
There is grandma, but their own grandma is the difference.
Well,
there are people that are interested into old. What?
Surely it's a thing, one way or another.
I don't know. I found it a bit creepy.
I mean, so do I.
Sure you do.
Oh, sorry,
I don't know why you keep insisting on that I look up this. You've never insisted that I look up another type of thing, but for some reason, this is the one that you decide. Clearly, you're into it.
No, I don't know what it is.
That wind is so bad. Okay. If you're going to put it up your bum, it should have a flared base to stop it going all the way in. Don't use random stuff and end up in the hospital explaining how you just felt. So obviously you've got experience with this, so you tell us why.
So something like a butt plug, basically.
A bike plug?
A butt plug. A bike plug would be interesting.
What the fuck is a bike plug?
I don't know. I've still got the same two people.
Your audio is so bad.
Well, it's the wind. I can't do anything about it.
Well, tell the wind to stop. Jesus Christ. This wind is going to spread coronavirus.
It will. Don't worry. I've already spread it. So.
Can you compare the wind to the Wuhan wind?
I can actually. This wind is much worse. So there's more damage.
You need to use the word Wuhan in what you're saying.
So the winds in Melbourne way worse than Wuhan wind that I experienced just getting back from China recently. The four guys in front of me are looking at me like, what the fuck is this?
Okay. Don't masturbate with 2-in-1 shampoo conditioner. I did when I was in middle school, and my dick looked like 40 bees stung it for 3 days.
That's funny. That is actually just plain funny more than anything else.
Maybe you're into that though. This is a great way to grow your penis. If you're embarrassed about your size like Marcus, you can use 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner on it, and it will grow your penis.
2-in-1 shampoo conditioner will grow my cock, will it?
Yes.
Oh, I like the idea of that.
Make sure the trapeze in your bedroom is centered over the bed. I have no fucking idea what that means.
So it's like, have you ever been to the circus?
Yes.
So it's like a rope.
I am the circus.
I know you are the circus half the time. That's right. You're the circus half the time. I'm the circus the other half of the time. So, you know It's like the swingy thing that they swing around and do flips on and off kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what a trapeze is called.
But I didn't get over the bed or whatever. You're swinging on that.
Well, they say put it over the middle of the bench, probably for safety. Excuse me. Fuck, this cold's fucking killing me.
Pee after sex. This goes for both genders.
Really, peeing after sex is great.
Clean out your asshole before anal, inside and out. Also, putting condoms on sex toys.
Yeah, I've heard cleaning out your ass after.
I don't know. I like to take a shit before anal and then just make them lick it. That's what we learned in Wuhan. Is you don't clean your ass. Do you imagine if instead of like the whole market thing, imagine that's all a lie and it actually came from someone licking someone's ass, which they forgot to clean.
I mean, that would be amazing, to be honest, if that was the case.
A typical STD screening does not include testing for herpes. Most times you need to request it specifically. It seems a bit fucked up.
I think you probably know you don't do this before you actually test for it anyway, I would have thought.
From experience?
Not from experience.
For God's sake, if you think there's a chance of hooking up, perform meticulous personal hygiene and for love of all that's holy, wash under your foreskin. I don't know. I find it like more like a lucky dip. The dirtier, the better.
Yeah. It's always good when it's filthy. It's always enjoyable.
You are not having sex with this person for your own satisfaction, doing it to make them feel as good as possible. Once I started thinking like that, my sexual encounters and personal performance got 100% better.
You gotta be selfish sometimes.
You're having sex to avoid coronavirus, so, get your priorities right.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta do it right.
Now, this one kind of makes me squeamish. Man, everyone is talking about sex, and the only advice I have is if you break a bone, never push it back in.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, which the idea of breaking your penis and then shoving it back in. Now that's a fetish.
Yeah.
Imagine being into breaking your own penis and then fucking with it. And that's the only thing that can get you off. Is you have to snap your penis.
That wouldn't even work.
That's the point. That's what you're into.
But that'd be so painful.
So that's the point.
How would that work?
That is the point.
I know, but I'm just...
What would be painful? Can you please tell us in graphic detail?
I don't know.
What do you mean? Yeah, in what way? Tell us.
I don't know.
Friends at the golf course need to know what we're talking about, so...
Wait till I say the fact that your cock snapped off with like 4 blokes standing 20 metres away from me. The fact that your cock snapped off would be a big problem in the first place. I would have thought.
Not for me. I quite enjoy it.
I'll say you like it when your cock snaps off, do you?
Yeah, that's my dream come true.
Oh, God, okay.
I aim to snap it. You haven't had a good session until you snapped your cock.
Really?
Is what I always said. That's the name of my new book.
What's it called again? Sorry, what's the name of your book?
You haven't had a good sexual session until you snapped your cock.
You haven't had a good sexual session until you've snapped your cock.
Yeah.
That's
It's a guide to quality sex.
A guide to quality sex.
In coronavirus times.
How to snap off your own cock.
Yes.
I like it. I like it a lot.
It's going to take over the world. I almost reckon we should do this as a game where you go to a course and you pretend to be a doctor and then you give advice to people with fucked up medical conditions. So I start asking you questions about how like I fucked my penis up last night. And
So,
we ease
sir,
into
can
it.
you tell me why you got a race car shoved up your ass, sir?
It's a toy car, firstly, please.
No, a toy car. Okay, sorry, I forgot why you toy
Yes.
car shoved up your ass.
I mean,
There's actually people standing
it's
15
about
meters away looking at me.
10 centimeters by 5 centimeters big. So it's a fairly solid toy car. It's not one of those small ones, but you know.
How did it feel when you decided to do that?
Felt great. That's why I did it.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Just doesn't make much sense.
That's my fetish. Those things turn me on.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
My aim is to put one up my pee hole. You should tell me, do not put it up your pee hole. That is not safe.
Now, I will strongly advise you do not put that little race car up your pee hole. It's not really safe to do. It's not safe to do so.
But that's my fetish, and that's what I'm into.
It's not really a good idea. It's not safe to do so.
I would love it if you got banned from this golf course. And then you say, but I'm a doctor who specializes in this, and I had to save a client who was dying with a toy car up his asshole.
Anyway, that'll be an interesting discussion to have at some point.
All right, we'll go on to the next. So our next story is from e-cards again, some e-cards again, and people share stories of not safe for work things they witnessed at work. All right.
Yes.
So this one starts with, went into work because monitoring software on a server was sending out alerts. When I got there, a guy was in the break room cleaning a woman's shoe in the sink, as you do.
What?
He was super startled when I walked in and began a weird story about the shoe smelling bad and it distracting him. So he decided to just grab it and wash it. I was like, well, okay, then, good corporate citizen. At this point, I would love to say how weird it would be. Imagine if you were in an office and someone's feet stank so bad you just took their shoe and washed it.
Fucking hell.
All right. Well, the story continues. A few weeks later, someone walked in on him masturbating with a woman's shoe. Apparently, it was normal for female employees to occasionally leave a pair of shoes at the office. This was in Chicago, and you either left shoes there or carried them with you on your commute so that you could wear boots in the slush.
Carrying shoes is one thing, but surely you can get someone else to do that for you.
What?
Carry or clean your shoes instead of.
No, the point, they're leaving their shoes at the office, and this guy was then taking the shoes that were left there and masturbating to them.
That's just fucking
Jesus, learn your creepy sex fetishes.
That is just sick.
Okay, so at his exit interview, he made a point of saying that he always washed the shoes afterwards, as if somehow that made it okay.
I was going to say, how does that make it okay?
They let him resign in lieu of calling the cops on him. The day he left, a memo went around explaining what happened and authorizing full compensation for replacement of any shoes that had never been left overnight.
Oh my God. Seriously?
Imagine getting an email from your work to say that if you left your shoes here, someone might have masturbated in them, so we'll buy you shoes.
Yeah, I know. That would be an interesting email to receive.
Imagine he forgot to clean them and you come in one day and then there's just cum on your shoes.
I'm actually about to try and hit a golf shot. And yeah, that's not a thought I want to have.
Well, this is gave me a great idea for a band name. Imagine your band is called Come On My Shoes. And then you have like outfits where you have shoes with specific white stuff on them, and then you can sell that as merch. So people buy cum stained shoes.
Oh, no, that's fucked. That is so fucked.
Okay, the next one. When I was 19, I worked for a quick oil change place, and I had a woman sit in her car and change every stitch of clothing while I stood there and wrote down her information. I mean, okay. I mean, nothing oncoming on the shoes.
No.
I used to work in a sign shop that specialized in vehicle wraps. My co-workers were always fucking around, and one of them must have lost a bet or something. I walked around the tour bus we were wrapping, and I saw him standing on the scissor lift, applying the wrap to the bus, wearing only his work belt and shoes.
Okay.
I mean, dreams come true.
Yeah, sometimes they do for some people. So
I worked in a photo lab at Maya right out of high school. This was just a couple of years before digital cameras killed film, so I still dealt with people bringing in disposables and rolls of film to develop. Imagine back in the day working in a photo thing, because I'm sure you would have seen all kinds of crazy shit.
I can see they'd probably have like a selection of stuff they would have kept for sure.
And made their own copies to enjoy.
Exactly. Yeah.
95% of the stuff I saw was kids' birthday parties and vacation shots. The rest, though, was some NSFW stuff. One woman in her mid-40s that apparently liked to party with her friends had a thing about resting her boobs on people's heads. There's nice boobs, by the way. Another guy dropped off a disposable camera for 1 hour development. I ran it through, and the entire roll was a woman who is drop-dead gorgeous, just posing naked on the bed. Well, when he returned to pick up the pictures, she was with him. That was a very awkward moment of ringing them up, and she couldn't look me in the eye. Had another guy drop off a camera who was a real class act. Naked photos of his wife/girlfriend, a collection of guns, and him snorting coke off a family picture.
Oh, that's good.
One other story I have is about a couple that brought in a roll of film. I ran it through the process, and most of the images were innocuous, but the final few were probably a little saucy. I say probably because the images were so dark I couldn't make out more than a silhouette. It was likely the wife modeling off some lingerie. I never printed the pictures though, since they were almost all black. They picked them up and returned a short time later with my manager and store director in tow, demanding I be fired for stealing those last few shots. My explanation didn't satisfy them, so I was forced to put their film back in the machine and show exactly what the shots were and why they weren't printed. After that, they got real sheepish and muttered an apology before quickly leaving. I feel like there has to be better
What
stories
happens sometimes
of people working in those photo development things. The other thing was, back in those days, like, it was limited. So, like, if you took photos, you'd want to maximize it. So you'd have like random family gatherings, and then have some scat porn in the middle, and then have more random family gatherings.
Yeah, just for good measure, basically. So nothing wrong with some good old scat porn in the photos. So,
well, yep. I once saw a girl sit down on the floor in one of the cubicles and show everyone her clit ring. I mean,
yeah,
maybe you should show the other golfers your clit ring.
Yeah. And I could start playing golf with absolutely no clothes on. I don't know how much attention that'd actually draw to myself, to be honest.
With your clit ring?
Yeah.
Can you please talk about how your clit ring is getting a bit itchy?
Well, I mean, my cock ring's definitely getting a little bit itchy at the moment. So.
Clit ring, please, sir.
Clit ring? Oh, sorry. Yeah, that too, actually. Sorry, sir. I forgot you were talking. Sorry, mate. I forgot you were talking about your clit ring. So.
I worked at a restaurant, and one of the hostesses would talk about having anal beads in while working, and how she came when she walked around the restaurant. That'd be good to have like a child's party there and serve them their food while she's coming from her anal beads.
I can see that happening.
So how are your anal beads right now?
Well, I haven't got any at the moment. So.
Oh, well, that's no fun.
I know. It is no fun, unfortunately. So.
I worked at a restaurant with a woman who forgot to take her butt plug out before her shift.
Oh,
she just had to tell somebody and then somebody else, and then put 2 or 3 more somebodies who all told somebody else. Eventually, the butt plug story made its way to management. Management had a meeting, decided it came down to uniform policy, decided since the butt plug wasn't visible to customers, it wasn't an issue. Girls started wearing butt plug all the time. Pretty cool job. You should ask your employer if butt plugs are acceptable to wear.
Yeah.
And make the statement that you can't get that you can't get coronavirus from it, so it's safe.
Yeah, that's true.
Owner's son at a computer repair shop would use the test bench to look up stupid shit. He got the test bench infected with viruses while looking at cat porn. No people, just cats having sex. At least he was laughing uncontrollably at it instead of furiously masturbating to it. See, that's just sick, as if you wouldn't masturbate to cat porn.
Yeah, I'm trying to work out in the first place what someone's doing supposedly doing cat porn in the first place. So some person off the street's just looking at me going, what the fuck?
Can you tell me not to look at cat porn?
Sir, can you please not look at cat porn, okay? Please do not look at cat porn.
Oh, classic.
I'm trying to line up my shot and we're having this discussion about cat porn, okay? I'm sorry. Guys. I can't. I've got this person here. We're just having a discussion about cat porn, okay? It's got an interesting fetish, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to attempt to actually play a golf shot here.
The next one. I was working for an international company and we were rolling out video conference equipment. We had the far end system in the London office on and it was connected at like 9 p.m. there for testing. The monitor was off, but the camera wasn't. I was looking at the network traffic when I heard voices, looked up and saw an exec and his male assistant. Went about my business and my coworker walked in and said, "Hey, stupid change. Did you get the what the fuck?" Exec had dropped to his knees and started going at it on our 60-inch monitor. That wasn't the only thing 60-inch in my mind.
Probably not.
I quickly killed the connection and I still don't know if my side was muted or not, but if it wasn't, it was probably pretty funny with some dude getting a beach and then a sudden voice coming through from nowhere.
People love anything. People have a go at anything these days.
So what is it like when you have someone walk in on you like that?
It's a little disturbing.
So you can't deny that things.
I have had someone walking in on me having sex before.
Dreams come true.
That I have happened.
Accidentally, of course.
Wasn't expecting it, but it did happen. So
sure, you weren't expecting it. Definitely
no, it wasn't
didn't set it up to perfectly happen.
I think the person who actually walked in on me was
masturbating in the hallway.
Planning on trying. Well, I think they were definitely doing something a bit fishy.
Fishy or catty?
Yeah. Well, both actually.
Well,
probably a bit of both, to be honest. So.
Next one. When I worked at a big box electronics company, I did computer janitor work. A lady brought in her 14-year-old son's laptop because it was acting slow. I booted it up in front of her. It had one folder on the desktop named after the kid. Opened that up, and she and I both got an eyeful of thumbnails of the kid jacking it. It was insanely awkward. I closed and deleted the folder and gave her the computer back. She said, "Yeah, we don't need to get this fixed. He's not getting a computer back again." Now, it would have been funnier if she had said, "You are disgusting. You just looked at child porn and I want you arrested."
Yeah, that would have been funny, but...
I think your phone's getting coronavirus over there. I think between the wind and coronavirus, your phone is fucked.
Unfortunately.
What?
Hear me at least. Can you hear me?
Kinda.
Kinda. Well, it's the wind. I can't do anything about Mother Nature.
You should.
I really can't.
If this virus has taught us anything, we should kill Mother Nature.
Yeah. Some people would agree with you on that. So.
Fuck this bitch. It's time to take payback. We're constantly getting hit by her. It's time we hit her back.
Yeah. How do you propose doing that?
I don't know. If we all fart excessively, it'll cause great damage to Mother Nature.
I've always hit that on the fucking road.
Can't yell "for" to a car.
Well, the problem is there's no car or people anywhere nearby. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, next one. There was a guy and a girl not in a relationship that used to regularly go into the sick bay around lunchtime for 10 to 20 minutes. She was a bit loud. Everyone nearby knew when they were in session.
It's probably similar to people who go into McDonald's and do exactly the same thing.
Really? You've seen that?
Well, there's video of it. There's like video of it.
Well, sorry, I don't look up McDonald's sex porn.
No, I'm just saying that.
Well, clearly we found your new fetish.
No.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
So what are your videos posted under?
That's personal information, which I prefer not to divulge at this stage.
Okay. I worked with a woman who claimed she could give herself an orgasm using only her mind. On 2 occasions, I saw her demonstrate this. Of course, she could have been lying, but it was a weird thing to lie about. She claimed that the more people were watching, the easier it was for her. She was pretty convincing. A pretty weird thing to do at work.
Yeah, I was give yourself.
Better thing to do on the golf course. So can you try to make yourself come from your mind right now?
Oh, that feels so much better.
All right, the next one. First startup I worked at in the 90s, just a few of us, ran meetings by having the note taker use a sheet of paper placed over a Playboy. Why the fuck? If the note taker started flipping through the magazine, the meeting wasn't interesting enough and was declared over. I feel like they should do that now, but with like podcasts where if this gets too boring, you just turn on the Pornhub.
Yeah. Can you imagine seeing like the amount of people going from like a podcast to Pornhub instead?
I mean, it'd be pretty fucking high, especially with the quality of this.
Yes, true. Although there's much worse than this. So.
I was the spot kid at a car dealership when I was 18. Moved cars around on the lot. When we got a spot, I'd clean it. A spot was the term for when one of the salesmen sold a car. I'd also clean up trade-ins and some other vehicles when I got a chance. We took in one of those big-ass conversion vans on a trade. I was left in the back. Jesus Christ. He was left in the back lot.
Do you know have you worked out how to read English yet?
No, I lose my spot. You're too distracting with your sexiness to focus on.
I know. I found a new place to put the camera as well. Put it somewhere near my
pee hole. Oh.
Yeah, pretty much.
Put it at the front and be better.
I can put it right down there if you want.
No, inside, not out.
Hold on. The problem is it's too dark. You can't see shit anyway, so it makes no difference.
Oh, I'll see shit.
You've seen plenty of shit anyway, so
literally
it makes no difference. You've seen all my shit, so
okay. On most slow nights, I'd grab one of the trades that was going to back out on the lot and clean it. I was putting off cleaning this van for a while. It's a big ass can and it would take hours. When I finally decided to clean it, I grabbed the keys and head to the back of the lot. Open the door, and there's 2 of the male salesmen going at it on the shitty pull-out bed, while the female sales manager watched from one of the swiveling captain chairs. There was a shit ton of coke involved. I shut the door and slowly backed away. Never cleaned the van. The service manager asked why I hadn't already. Told him, let's say Jan said I didn't have to, and to ask her. A few days later, it gets loaded up and sent to auction. Nothing was mentioned for a few days, but what I saw. But it was a weird sales office when I was around.
Well, that sounds like an interesting sales office. So
I feel like more sales teams should be doing that, doing
I
coke
agree.
and wild gay orgies.
I mean,
You would sell a lot more vehicles if that was.
Absolutely, you would. You'd sell plenty more stuff if you're doing stuff like that. So you'd be way more productive as well.
All right, the next one. In my company, we have live. What was that sound?
I don't know.
Anyway, in my company, we have live video conferencing in every room. If a meeting is scheduled between two rooms, then the live conference connects automatically and the two rooms are both on live video. Anyone in the company can schedule this. Well, we were in a meeting that ended and the next meeting connected. Turns out the people in the room next to us did not know this and were in a very not safe for work activity. The whole executive team watched in shock what was happening in the 100-inch screen in front of them. They still have jobs, but that will haunt them forever.
No, it won't. Probably almost got them promotions.
Well, what kind of fucking company wouldn't fire people, though?
Look, everyone's got their own enjoyment and pleasure at some point. So you don't necessarily need to fire them just because they've enjoyed themselves.
No, but you fire them for the fun of it.
Yeah, but if they're getting it on, then you know they're decent. They've got some character to them.
Well, what I would like to do is we play a game of. I'm going to read out your daily horoscope, but I'm going to read out 3 of them, and you're going to guess which is actually yours.
Okay.
Since clearly you should know which is the accurate one.
I probably should, but I don't think I'll pick correctly, to be honest.
Okay, so what is your actual horoscope sign or whatever? Mine's
Capricorn, I think, from memory.
Okay, so let me just load up. The funny thing is you don't even know. So this could be completely fucked anyway. But...
Yeah, I know. It probably will be. But anyway, that's the best part about it.
So I'm going to start with number 1. So today, like it or not, you have to share the people you love with other people. Very important for you. Share the people you love with other people. You don't own your friends and you can't have a monopoly on them all their free time. If you're getting worried that one of your best friends is focusing too much on someone else, relax. You have nothing to worry about. Keep an open mind about this new relationship of theirs. It could bring some good things in your life in ways you don't understand just yet.
That sounds like a Pisces who's a selfish prick.
That was number 1, and I'm not going to say what it was, and we'll come back to what it actually is.
I'm saying what I think I'm saying what I think it could be.
Okay, so let me just write it. So number 1 you think is Pisces.
Yep.
All right, number 2. This isn't a good time to strategize your life based on how much money you want to make. Your career advancement, that's a no shit in this time. Jesus Christ. Possibly this is not the kind of time where you should be anyway. So your career advancement should be structured around what you want to learn, what you want to gain experience doing, and the types of people you want to interact with. Doing something just because it could earn you more money is way too short-sighted. And you don't want to be stuck in a trap later and unable to break free. Focus on what you want to do, not on how much you want to make. So that's number 2.
That just sounds like pretty obvious shit at the moment, but that's definitely not me. Okay,
so what is that, do you think?
It's got to be the 3rd one, no matter what it is.
Okay. So we'll go on to the 3rd one.
In fact, well, what's September? Because that sounds like a September one.
I don't fucking know. How would we... hang on. Hopefully this website tells me. Gotta love that we don't even know. Let me find the astrological signs by day. And I know why you say that's September, but that wasn't September. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that. September.
Now I got you back.
Okay.
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
September is either Virgo or Libra. Okay. But the person you're thinking of is a Virgo.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm going to write down that you think that was a Virgo. So you're thinking that this one will be what you think you are, which you said is Capricorn, which you are correct. And you only make it by one day, so you're lucky. All right, so this is the third reading. There could be an exciting surprise coming your way, so get ready to have your daily routine knocked on its ear. You've been waiting for an excuse to ditch your plans for a day. Now you've got it. You've learned to be flexible in the face of chaos, and you'll have a great time zigging and zagging throughout the day. People will be impressed, and there's no doubt they'll try to pry your secrets out of you. Tell them it's just a special knack you have.
Sorry, can you read that again? I didn't hear half of it.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Basically, you have an exciting surprise coming your way, and people will be impressed. And people are going to try and get the secrets out of you.
Yeah.
So you think that's you?
Yes, I think that is very appropriate for my situation at the moment.
Okay, so yes, obviously you are completely wrong. So
I'm always completely wrong.
You said number one was Pisces, and that was Sagittarius.
Okay, yeah.
You said number two was Virgo, and that was actually Capricorn. So you're the one who needs to stop fucking focusing on money, you dickhead.
I've been thinking about getting a bit of extra cash lately.
Well, you're being too focused on money in these challenging times. And then the final one was Cancer. So I sincerely hope that the special surprise that they're supposed to get isn't actually Cancer.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
Let's read your sex scope for the day.
I look forward to hearing this one.
Spring will be here before you know it. Celebrate the coming of the new season by trying something new. Ooh, scat porn.
Scat porn. What else
shove pubes up your pee hole. Whether it's a new relationship, ooh, that'll go down well. New sexual fantasy, or even a new restaurant. You might want to try a new restaurant in these times.
Yeah, that's true.
Even none are open. Venus in Taurus and Mercury retrograde in Aquarius on March 4 will help you embrace the change. Try something new in the bedroom when Mercury goes direct and there's a full moon in Virgo on the 9th.
I like trying new things.
Try a new thing with a full moon.
Yep.
Then it says fantasies come true when Mercury enters Pisces on March 16. Your sex life is pretty much perfect, even with a couple of unplanned twists, and you couldn't be happier. Your connection gets stronger when the sun enters Aries on the 19th. You almost finish each other's sentences. It's not the only thing you'd be finishing.
I know. You're finishing a lot of other things as well.
Your sex life is going great, but don't be afraid to spice things up when Saturn enters Aquarius on March 21. Perhaps a little role-playing.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
What kind of role-playing would you do?
I'm thinking like bad doctor, naughty nurse.
No, I think like shit golfer and better caddy.
Yeah, but that
I think you need to spice it up with something sexy, like homeless garbage man meets equally homeless dead prostitute.
It's an interesting combination.
Express your sexual needs if they aren't being met when the new moon is in Aries on the 24th. Sometimes all you need to do is ask. Now, work keeps you away from romance when Mars enters Aquarius on March 30. Send your partner a flirty text to let them know you're thinking of them.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And what's even more accurate is the fact that it says, is he cheating on you? Enter a live psychic. So if you're worried that he's cheating on you, which could be that garbage man.
Yeah.
I think you should do some homeless man, garbage man role play.
Homeless man, garbage man role play.
Yeah, no washing of the hands. You just be like, this is my dirty hand. Suck my dirty hand.
Suck it. Like
I've been pissing and shitting in my pants all week thinking about you.
You could have some other interesting role play with those kind of characters.
Like what?
I don't know. How about like bent over a bin or something?
Yeah. I'm just trying to look at like what are the worst role play scenarios. I guess like a funeral would be a nice one to role play. You be the dead body, I'll be the funeral director molesting you while you're
That is yeah, that's bad.
You be the dead body, I'll be the grieving grandmother who's crying.
Oh God. That can only go down well. That it's never going to go down well.
There really seems to not be a list of bad role plays, which this is not good enough. Everything's on good role plays, but we want to go down the ideas of what is the worst.
Surely there's got to be some bad ones on there.
Nowhere.
Really? How are there not any bad ones there? There's lots of bad role plays everywhere.
No, there isn't. There's not enough. How about we role play Romeo and Juliet the ending?
Oh God.
What about coronavirus role play?
Well, that would be interesting actually, because there's any number of ways you could role play that.
Baby, I have coronavirus. Here's my special medicine to get you better.
That would definitely work very well. Wow, that's so bad.
Yell at Corona. We can see people walking behind you. Cough, cough, cough. Louder. That woman didn't turn around. Oh, man. I would so love it if you got banned from this golf course.
We'll see. I'm self-isolating anyway, so.
Well, that's no fun. What about self-isolation roleplay?
Self-isolation roleplay?
Yeah.
So since I'm not self-isolating, I'm practicing good social distancing. Social distancing. That's what I'm doing. Practicing good social distancing. So,
I'm practicing looking up the most fucked up. All right, this is going to be some fun.
You always practice good stuff.
This comes from Scoop Whoop, which sounds like it's such a perfect website. This is called 12 of the strangest kinds of porn that people search for.
Oh, yeah.
So, firstly, we have YIF porn.
What is that, just out of curiosity?
Yiffy features people from the furry fandom lifestyle indulging in some animalistic humping. It's basically people dressed as furry animals. The women are called vixens, getting it on.
Okay.
You might want to do that on the golf course next time.
Get it on out here. Yeah, that'll be...
Number 2, we have occult porn. So this kind of porn involves overtones of magic and paranormal. Performers dress up as wizards and witches.
Yeah, that's just
now this is some fucking weird shit. Japanese newscaster porn. So people dress up as newscasters and they have porn. Bear porn is made up of a whole lot of things, but the main requirements is that the guys have to be hairy, middle-aged, and overweight. The perfect combination.
Hairy, middle-aged, and overweight. Well, I'm sure that's easy enough to find pretty much anywhere in the world.
The next one is sucking semen out of one's anus with a straw.
Oh, yeah.
We then have menstrual porn.
Menstrual porn.
Which are pretty obvious. Now, the next one is fish porn. Forcing fish to suck on your penis isn't a nice thing to do, but in porn it is.
Really? Wow.
I think you need to, the next time there's people around, you need to be saying, no, you cannot have sex with a fish, no matter how good it feels.
Yeah, I might say that. It'll be an interesting response.
Coming on figurines. Wow. This is where people basically jizz on Barbies.
Yeah,
think of that?
That kind of doesn't surprise me, to be honest.
I mean, it doesn't, but it also is so weird that, like, who would think of it?
Well, I get that it's some people get off on that shit. So,
the next one is clown porn, which I don't find that weird. But the next one is going to really fuck you up. Toothless granny porn.
Toothless granny porn.
Yeah.
That's very specific.
Yes. Milking porn. This is where lactating women are milking themselves. And then number 12 is Santa Claus porn.
That's for a bad Christmas.
Yes.
Basically.
Bad Christmas. That's dreams come true Christmas.
Yeah, for some people it's definitely dreams come true Christmas.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Well, some people love that shit. So
then there's a thing called quicksand porn.
Sorry? Quicksand?
Yeah, so where people get stuck in quicksand and then it turns into porn.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty messed up.
But the problem that just seems what average people are into these days. Basically.
What?
How do you come up with this kind of stuff? How do people come up with this stuff?
Well, I'm now on a Reddit called Weird Japanese Porn Videos. And there's one of them called Washing Her Hair with Cum from a Jar.
Okay.
Most of it I can't even read out because it's so...
It's probably just normal in Japan.
Yeah.
So
that's what I think you need to do. Japanese porn role play.
Japanese porn role play
on a golf course. Jesus Christ. This is great for this time of time. Girls who lick doorknobs.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's pretty appropriate for the current climate, so.
It's, okay, I can't take this anymore. Throwing up on each other.
Oh, wow, okay, yep. That is, wow. People really do like to get off on some crazy shit, so.
Yep.
Wow, okay. Right, now just so you know, I've got like 3 minutes left because of the amount of battery I've got left.
Well, obviously you're too horny with all this porno talk.
I know, I've been doing a bit too much of these ones.
Well, on that note, enjoy your jizz on the golf course.
I will.
May Corona save you.
Excuse me.
And the next time you play golf, I think we need to have some more Corona games.
We can definitely do that.
Next time you should bring a Corona with you.
I might just do that. Thank you very much.
Cough excessively and complain that the corona isn't the same as it was in Wuhan.
Oh, excuse me. I will. Don't worry. Right. Thank you, everybody. Until next time. Good night.
Again, stop talking to the people that can't talk back.
Right. I will see you later.
You lose a ball onto the freeway, even though there's no
the
freeway
road's
there.
literally just there.
Perfect.
So, in fact, there's a cyclist going past.
Target practice. Go.
Target.
And then just start coughing. Start coughing and say, "Oh, sorry, my corona's playing up." And I miss it.
Sorry. Right.
Well, until next time.
Until next time. See ya.